I've not watched this video yet, y'all. What's going on? It's your boy, Brother Winston, with another video. This is Mary Anne Lorient, okay? And she has a video here saying Dr. Umar paid Mary Anne Lorient, okay? If you don't know who Mary Anne Lorient is, this is the woman who made the Dr. Umar movie called Awaken, which is it's quite hilarious. It's one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. I actually made a like a little short review of the movie. All right, it's not the best movie in the world, but it's not her fault. It's Umar who caused the process to be terrible for her. Okay, but let's hit play here and see what she has to say about it. I'm trying to figure out why he would pay her money. Okay, let's go.
Good afternoon, family. It's Mary Ann. We're experiencing 85-degree weather in the month of September for Ohio. That's amazing. So I figure I come outside and do this video. The weather is beautiful. We're exorbitant in before winter hit. We could have some pretty harsh winter in Ohio. So the reason I wanted to come out to make this video, it's because I received a check as a settlement from Dr. Umar Johnson. During the week, I received an email, and the email was not claiming to sue me. It was from his attorney at Cleveland Law Firm, which has a sister firm and where he's from, Philly. So they reached out. They wanted to have a dialogue.
My fault, was an ad there. Also, I want to say this real quick that it is definitely high. It's been like 80 something today here in Philly, and I'm loving the weather. Me and God, we on the same wavelength. Like when it comes to the weather, I'm like, listen, I don't need no winter. It can be hot every single day. But let's continue.
They reached out. They wanted to have a dialogue. They wanted to give me a form of payment for my hardship that I dealt with Dr. Umar, for my donation, and then for my therapy. Where I did say I went to therapy in one of the videos, so they did their homework pretty thoroughly. They wanted to reimburse me for that, and he wanted to move forward and not have me make disparaging video about him anymore. Okay, so I'm sitting here, I'm like, disparaging video? I don't understand. Can you elaborate on that? Well, Miss Lorient, you're getting on your YouTube video, you're saying he's dating outside his race, which is factual. He doesn't date outside his race. I said, okay, so we're having a dialogue. Let me put some clarification. Well, we don't need, I said, you're going to allow me to speak, sir. You're going to allow me to have clarification. I said, first of all, I was gracious and I was kind. All I said on that YouTube video, he wanted a scene with a Caucasian woman. I said, but I took my phone because we were having the Zoom meeting on my laptop, on my Apple laptop.
Right, remember what she said that if you didn't see that video, and I made a video on that, they ain't get a lot of views. I guess people ain't believe it or whatever, but it thought it was clickbait or something, but it was true. This is a woman that was a director and a producer of I believe she was a director also of the movie Awaken with Dr. Umar, which is supposed to be like a type of true story, though it's fictionalized to a large degree also, because I think Dr. Umar wanted to be changed. It's a movie about him. And basically, she said, she alleges, okay, and I believe it personally, that Dr. Umar asked to have a scene with a snow bunny. All right, so you want to have a scene with a woman who was who was white, Caucasian, and he wanted to be kissing her all constantly. He wanted to be all on her. All right, and so let's continue. But this is the same guy that says, you know, black queens forever, snow bunnies never. But then he was requesting that he be able to have a scene with a snow bunny. But let's continue.
Cinetech bleep. It went beep. I said, that beep you hear next to him, that's me texting him his own message, which is his acting number, his own message. I said, in that message, this is from Dr. Umar. He told me, Queen, this is how we're going to do this scene. I'm going to be bare-chested. This woman's going to have exposed breasts, and she's going to be pressing against my chest. I don't know if he thought I was doing a porn video, because we told him.
You heard what she just said? She said that, this is something I ain't know. She said that Dr. Umar wanted the woman to have an exposed chest. Now, if you watch the movie Awaken, which if you watch, you will have a a very interesting experience. I would just say that once again, nothing against her. Okay, nothing against her. If I'm a director myself, shoot movies right now, finishing the movie up, I should say right now, and I can tell you that if Dr. Umar acted the way that he did with me, number one, I would never make a movie about this man in the first place. One, but if it was someone else that acted like he did, I should say, because he's the kind of person I would never run a film. But but if someone else acted the way that he did, the movie would have been, that person would have been replaced immediately. Okay, he's telling her what to do, telling her to change scenes up on the fly, all kind of mess this guy was doing. I mean, I just think that is astonishing. Me being a director and hearing her story before about what Umar was doing to her, what he was saying, okay, with her previous interviews or just her coming on her channel talking about the experience with Umar, to me was very appalling. All right, it's something that you can't fully understand unless you have been in the position as a director. But I would just say this: imagine doing your job. Let's say you go to work, all right, and that's really what it is. It is a job. It's fun. Is if you're doing it and you love it, it's still fun, but it's still work. And it can be very difficult. Don't mean that seem that way. You imagine doing your job, you're going to work, whatever you're doing, and somebody just comes on your job and just tells you to do everything differently. And then and that person is not your boss, all right, but they're actually your subordinate. And then on top of that, they start messing your job up and making your bosses get mad at you. That's kind of what he was doing to her, because she has people that have invested in her to give her money. She wants the movie to come out and to make it be successful and help her career. And he messed the movie up to such a degree that the movie, to me, I give the movie like a 4.5 out of 10. To me, it's a very, very bad film, though she tried her best. Also, she's she's kind of new to the game when it comes to, I don't think this is her first film, but you can tell she's still kind of new to the game because of some of the things, in my opinion, she allowed, which I think a more experienced person would have never allowed. Once again, it's nothing against her. I'm just saying that Umar, the movie was about him, and he was acting as himself in the movie. So he did have her in a very precarious situation in that way. And he traveled to her state and all that kind of stuff, but it's just a lot that he put her through. But let's continue.
Because we told him a feature film, but moving along, and they're like, well, we don't need, I said, well, I'm going to finish. Whether you want to hear it or not, I'm going to finish. I said, that's what he wanted. And then the scene, I'm going to break it down to you, family. The scene was for him to go, he came to his senses because he had a moment of weakness. This is him typing all this garbage to me. He came to his weakness because he had a moment of weakness. And he's going to go, no, I am a Pan-African leader. I can't stoop to this level. Black Queen forever, Snow Bunny never. And I'm going to throw her.
I got backed up. I got to make sure that I heard that correctly. Let's go back, yo. I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes you ever hear something you say, I know I couldn't have heard them say that. Like, this is almost like an imagination. Like, this is like a video game. This cannot be real. Let's go. And I've not heard this. Yeah, let's go.
Scene, I'm going to break it down to you, family. The scene was for him to go, he came to his senses because he had a moment of weakness. This is him typing all this garbage to me. He came to his weakness because he had a moment of weakness. And he's going to go, no, I am a Pan-African leader. I can't stoop to this level. Black Queen forever, Snow Bunny never. And I'm going to throw her off the bed. This is what he wanted to incorporate in the movie. And I said,
if he said that to me, I'll be like, listen, Dr. Umar, do you want people to... I'll be like, do you want people to take you serious, brother? Absolutely. Well, look, think about it. Think about this. This is supposed to be like this is supposed to be like a biopic of your life, okay? How could it help you to have you in a room, in a hotel, all right, with a white woman, a snow bunny, with her chest out, all right, pressed against you, which is what you're telling me to film. And then, while you're all on her, kissing her, whatever the case may be, with your hands all on her, because mind you, in that movie, he has his hands over like 2 or 3 different women, even though he's supposed to be like engaged, I think, in the movie. But that doesn't bother him. He's all over the world, okay? Dude, well, it's just hard for me to understand how that movie got made. But anyway, let's just continue. I would say to him, look, this is not a good look, buddy. I mean, I can't see how you could think that this would be good for the cause. No, but we got to understand. And in my moment of weakness, that's when I yell out and I scream. I let them know. Black queens forever, snow bunnies and ever. I mean, might as well just have a bunch of black queens just burst in the door at that very moment. Do you want me to write that in there too, Dr. Umar? I mean, it's no way we can make this serious or believable having this scene play out like that. I mean, it's just no way. All right. Mind you, 95% of directors will not allow an actor, or probably more than that, probably 99% will not allow an actor to change the script to such a degree. Well, I'm sorry, he's not even just changing the script. He's actually he wanted to actually add a whole scene in the script. I said this before in one of my other videos talking about this type of stuff. When you add a scene or remove a scene or even remove a line, it can change the entire tone of a film. Because each scene in the film has to fit to a certain tone. That's what a lot of people that don't understand filmmaking and storytelling, they don't take into account. That, for example, a movie could be good, but a producer may say, well, we want to have this scene in there because of advertisement or whatever, because we want to put this in here, that scene in there, and that, or take these scenes out. Okay, a lot of times studios will pull scenes out of a film. So when you watch a film, the film will not flow as it's supposed to because scenes were pulled out of the film. Like, for example, the other day, I watched Terminator 2, Judgment Day. It was like the director's cut, okay? And the movie, Terminator 2 is one of the best action movies in my opinion. When you watch the director's cut, to me, it's always a completely different film. Because the director's cut has scenes in there that make the film seem much more serious than watching it with those scenes taken out. He's trying to literally say, look, just put this scene in here. And it looks awful, and it proves, like I said, I'm so glad she made this video, okay? Even as I made this video, I'm trying to think of how I make this thumbnail on YouTube so people can really see this, because I guess sometimes you can have a video, and you talk about something, and people may not be able to tell by the thumbnail what's really going on. I want them to know that. And she's saying this is what he wanted, and this is what he wants. Okay, I've been telling you all for some time. Dr. Umar, his character that he plays is a character that he plays. All right, he doesn't really care about black folks. That's why he's been scaring people with this scam school for all of these years. That's why he went from I think it was called St. Paul's School scam, and then he went on to this Wilmington, Delaware school scam. I think it used to be called the something Moyer School before he bought it. Okay, and then recently when his school got to be sold, then he went on to try to start another school scam that he said he found in Newark, New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so he had another scam ready to go. All right. Another question I have before I play her is, where is he getting the money to pay her off? Okay, to settle with her. He didn't have money for the school, but he has money to settle with her. These are questions that we need to ask. Let's continue though.
No, we're not doing that. And I told you guys in the video, I regret it. What I would give to have these footage of this woman breast implanted in his chest. I would have loved it. Okay, so I said I was gracious, but since you're telling me I'm making this disparate video, I'm telling you how the video was made, and then this was his requirement. And then they're like, well, okay, we're not really going to go into detail. I said, you want to have a conversation, we're going to go into detail. They're like, well, okay, we're not really going to go into detail. I said, you want to have a conversation, we're going to go into detail. We're going to go into detail, sir. He's like, okay, Miss Mary Ann, Miss Lorient, can you calm down? I said, I'm calm. I said, I'm an African-American woman. A woman's nature is emotional. I'm a passionate person. I'm calm, I'm collective. No one is irate, and no one's angry. And then they're like, well, also, we're going to start with the film. And then you know how some of the content creator, they took Awaken and they did a blow to blow, like they were like discussing the film. I felt that's what we were doing. I kid you not. They must have watched that film at least once or twice. They were on point with everything. So they were going blow to blow to tell me, we're going to compensate you for the time when Jermaine Jackson, so they call him by his film name, not by Dr. Umar. When Jermaine Jackson arrived in the home to comfort Rebecca after the loss of her son. So this is the scene on the couch. So I'm sitting here, I'm listening, I'm like, okay. They're like, so we're going to compensate you because you lost the actress. So this is what you guys, a lot of the content creators didn't kind of miss. When he arrived to comfort Rebecca, when she opened the door, she was supposed to open the door. They were supposed to have a moment of emotional, because she's that young man's aunt. She's Rebecca's sister. So there was so much mess with him, with the female on the set. Something went down with this young woman, so you guys only got that one scene with her on the porch. So I lost the scene. I lost 2 scenes with her. So they reimbursed me for that. So the scene when the door was open, it was my cinematographer that opened the door. And all he did is just point it. That's all he did. That was the last scene we filmed. That day it was me, one cinematographer. There was 2 people on the thing. Me, Antonio, and then Lisa, who is like set coordinator. Like, she gets the craft together. She's set coordinator. It was the guy who's supposed to drive him around, his security. He showed up, and I'm like, you're not part of the scene, but he showed up that day. That's the only people that understand. He was upstairs putting his dashiki on. Okay? He's upstairs putting his dashiki on, and then when I realized this girl's not going to show up, I knew what transpired between him and this girl, the hot mess, So I said, Antonio, you just step in.
I hope that she explains what happened with Dr. Umar and the woman, because there's no reason for her to be nice unless it's in the settlement for her to be nice with Dr. Umar. Tell what he did, okay? Because it's a lot of people that think Dr. Umar is just being misunderstood. No, tell what he did.
And you just open the door, because Lisa, she didn't want to get on video. She's like, I don't like him. I don't want to be part of this. And I'm the producer. That day I had I'm the producer because I said so. I had like a movie T-shirt on. I didn't have the proper attire, and I wasn't trying to run upstairs. We've been filming all day. I'm exhausted. I said, you just open the door and let him in. So they were going. I'm saying this to give you an example. They were going blow to blow the entire film on what they're going to compensate me. And then they're like, you said you have therapy. We need you to provide your session. We're going to reimburse you for that. First of all, my insurance paid for that. And second of all, it was like a co-payment. It was a co-payment, which, okay, like they wanted to reimburse me for everything. So I was truthful. I was honest about that.
Makes me wonder, why would Dr. Umar do all of this, okay? Now, somebody may say, well, it's because he doesn't want his name to be dragged anymore on her YouTube page, because she has the behind-the-scenes stuff on him, and I don't know. I don't think that's. I think that Dr. Umar, it's possible that he's really planning on trying to do something to pull his image up, and this is serious, because I'm serious when I say this, because think about it. In the past some months, more than probably at any time, no, for sure, and more than any time during this school scam, Dr. Umar has been exposed like never before. Okay, he really has. He has been exposed like never before, and this thing of him not having the money to pay off that pay for the school, possibly being sold in the sheriff's cell. The fact that he was exposed that way, and then came up with this lie saying that that his bank accounts were frozen. When, as I showed you guys on a video, he put a video up like a month before that happened, where he literally said he believes, and his lawyers told him that his accounts could possibly be hacked by the guy Leonard Otter and his former woman he was dating. Okay, which is completely preposterous and ridiculous. How on earth could they see the future and know that could possibly happen? I said that proves right there that he staged the whole thing. There's a video in the beginning I didn't even notice, and then I happened to come upon it and saw it, and I was like, this proves right here that it's absolutely a lie. It's not even like it's a question. So for sure, it was absolute lie from the very beginning, without a doubt. So of all of that stuff, it's making him look really, really bad. And as a scammer, you need to be able to, your character has to be, at a place where people can believe you, so they can send you money. It's as simple as that. Those college kids that are on YouTube, that are on Instagram, that are following him, and he has like over 1 million people on Instagram that still follow him, they're not necessarily sending him money like that, okay? Now, he goes on these tours, but his tours have been reduced, I'm sure, because of all of this stuff, this bad press around him. All right. So I'm wondering if maybe he's actually considering trying to have a push to actually have the school open somehow. Now, of course, the school will never be a school, but it's possible he could try to do something. He could try to get all the stuff that needs to be going on, try to fix the school up, and then have come out and say, look, we're now trying to get a board and this and that and different things. It's possible that's what he's trying to do. Okay, if somehow possible, which I doubt, but if somehow possible, maybe even open the school. With Dr. Umar as a director, the school would never last for couldn't last for even 4 or 5 months. Okay, but it's possible maybe that's what he's trying to do. Not because he wants to open the school, because he wants to save his image and his brand, so he can continue to grift through, so he can continue to scam. Okay, it's just if he opens to think about it seriously, because you may think that he would never do this, but I think it's possible he could. Okay, he opens the school falls apart, and then what does he do? That's right, he blames black people again. And he says, you stupid Negroes, y'all didn't do this, y'all didn't do that, and the school fell apart. Now we need to open another one. He's a variety of things he could do. I'm just wondering what's really going on. What's his next play? Let's continue now.
And then for my hardship, I guess the stress he put me through during the filming, and they're like, moving forward, you're not going to go and make any more disparaging video about him, because if you continue, then he's going to have to take some action. He's tired. He wants a damn.
Okay, so the money is to say also, look, stop talking. Okay, stop talking about me.
I said, first of all, every time I made a video, it's because he reached out. He's the one who's sorting me out. I said, we're having this meeting because y'all reached out. I said, every time I'm having some kind of connection with him or some kind of reaction, is because of him. My reaction is based on his action. I said, he leaves me alone, we're not going to have a problem. No, we're not going to have a problem. You understand? And then they're like, what else they said?
She gotta be careful. What does it say? Dr. Umar paid Mary. So if she took that money, she has to be careful what she saw, what she's saying. Now, she's a grown woman. I'm sure that hopefully that she didn't sign anything that says she has to be quiet completely. But she's coming online talking about this stuff. I'm not trying to say anything against him, saying that she has to be careful if she's made an agreement. You're making a deal with the devil, in my opinion. You sign anything with Dr. Umar for real. Let's continue though.
They're like, yeah, so I'm glad we're having this dialogue. We're going to give you 68,600. I left the checks up there. I haven't even cashed your check yet. The check's still up there. But what I did do, I sent a copy of that check to Honor, because I promised Honor, when I get paid, I would return back on this show, and then I would do let the people know I got my money back. You understand? And I said,
she talk about Lennon Otter. If you don't know who that is, that's the guy who makes a lot of videos about about Dr. Umar.
Nobody made no disparaging video about it, because I still had kept hope alive. Because I said, if FDMG did open, I would show up because I'm a donor. I was part of the dream. You understand? You understand? So I'm saying to myself, and then I don't know if you guys saw his little dark video that he made, and that's very symbol. That's shame. That's shame, making that video in the dark. And I brought, what's that thing? No.
I think she's talking about the video where he was in a car. Continue though. He was in a car. I think I did that's the one where he was talking about attacking black folks for talking against Charlie Kirk. But then he was making fun of black. I made a video about that, but then he was making fun of black women for having weeds and stuff. But let's continue.
I'm just saying this. No, I'm just saying this. I ain't saying nothing bad. Okay. That's my attorney talking. Okay. Somebody asked him, why haven't you addressed? No, I'm just addressing this, and I'm done with it. Yeah. Why haven't you addressed Mary Anne Lorient's accusation? And then in his little video, I'm not talking about her. That woman ain't even worth my time. All the slander in the world can't stop me. First of all, why don't you talk about I got paid? Talk about that, you chatty patty. Talk about that. And I'm calm. Okay, she want me to calm. But anyway, Anyway, I got paid. Family. Let him talk about that. Because in the meeting, I told him I'm coming out. I'm going to come out and say I get this payment. And I'm going to come out and say we had this meeting. And then moving forward, he stay out of my face, I'm going to stay out of his face. And they're like, Miss Lorient, you're not going to have any more issue out of him, and we're expecting not to have any more issue out of you. I said, well, the whole internet's making video about it. Who else y'all having meeting with? We're talking to you, Miss Lorient. I said, you damn Skippy, you talking to me. And then, you know I'm sloppy, right?
Okay, so he gave her tens of thousands of dollars. Where did he get the money from? He couldn't save the school, and the school was in arrears of 70 grand. But now all of a sudden, money is put into his account of near 70 grand, the exact amount of money that he needed to save the school, but he didn't have. Now he has that money to throw at her. Where does that money come from? Seriously. And you see why I always say I think that he's an FBI plant? And I don't say that in a joking manner. I really believe this dude is an FBI plant. When I saw him years ago, Umar years ago, all right, and I saw that, and I'm saying it again, I said it before, I saw that he came out against President Obama when no one else was. Before President Obama barely did anything at all. And he was against him, and he was saying all kind of stuff. I was like, wow, how does it benefit you or anyone to be saying this, Umar? Unless you want to, unless you're working against him or work. I mean, he's just the first black president. You know what I mean? I remember I used to tell people, I used to say, get this guy some grace. He's the first black president. You know how big of a accomplishment that is to be a black president. Not only to become the president, but then to actually be the president and be black in this racist nation. And Umar was against it wholeheartedly. I remember around the same time, I think it was Tavis Smiley and Cornel West, if I'm not mistaken, they went on a tour against Obama, but they had a reason, even though they still shouldn't be doing it, in my opinion, but they had a reason. I think they called it the poor man's tour or something like that. The reason it was he didn't invite them to his inauguration or something. They didn't get invited to some type of event. So they basically, because of that, felt like they were out, they were treated wrong and whatnot. But that Umar, it wasn't like, he just straight up, I just thought it was very, very odd. And then from there, as I looked at him from time to time, never his fan, but just seeing what he was doing. I used to see that he would say and do things that, though it appeared it was positive for the black community, really hurt us. I thought to myself, this guy, if I was the FBI trying to send someone undercover to destroy black people, that Umar would be the perfect person. And we see even with Charlie Kirk recently. Charlie Kirk, an extreme racist, okay, a man who they're trying to push on Christians, for example, as a Christian, when he wasn't even a Christian. He was what's called a Christian nationalist, which is like it's almost like a neo-Nazi when we actually understand what it really is. Okay, and all that they want to do, you look at the term nationalist. Dr. Umar made a video where it's the video that she's referencing where he was in his car in the dark, and the first thing he does is come on and basically tell black people to stop talking against Charlie Kirk. All right, a man who spoke against black people, and in 2024 went on a tour to remove the civil rights bills and all the things that Martin Luther King and other people fought for. He went on a tour to remove those things. And what did Charlie Kirk say about Martin Luther King? He said that he was awful. He said he was, quote, awful. While Dr. Umar comes against other black leaders himself. So I can see why he would have some type of kinship with Charlie Kirk. He would feel some type of kinship with the man. Dr. Umar came out and said, oh, I'm not going to celebrate the death of my enemy and all this kinds of. No, he wasn't your enemy. All right. Y'all got to check from the same people. All right, but let's continue.
I got a little messy. I called. No, I'm talking about the one in Columbus. I called the attorney, the one he started off with, who tried to sue me with him. In the beginning, I explained that to you. I called him. I said, you know what? It's funny. It's getting dark out here. I have light on the side if you want to go and put it on. I said, it's funny. Umar called and had a meeting with a settlement. You weren't in the lineup. And he was like, Miss Lorient, why are you reaching out to me? There's nothing to discuss. I said, I'm reaching out to you to let you know that he threw you under the bus. Miss Lorient, you called me a gorilla. I said, I called you a gorilla? I said, no, I didn't call you a gorilla, sir. A gorilla is a majestic intelligent animal. I called you a monkey. That's what I called you. He's like, Miss Lorient, there's nothing to discuss, and he hung up the phone. That's fine. A monkey is what I called you, and I'm not taking that back. So, family.
Sorry, I gotta keep stopping it. This video is packed with ads. YouTube is really out of control with these ads. YouTube is supposed to be better than TV with the ads, and they got 10 times more ads than TV. It's ridiculous. But let's continue.
I'm taking that back. So, family, it's getting dark out here. I didn't realize how quickly it's gotten dark. It's just so beautiful. I should have probably done the video earlier. So it's like, so when I sent a copy to the check when Mr. Honor had me on his show, see, Honor, he got, while he's interviewing, he could show you little slide pictures, you know, and he got a new computer. So it's going to be the bomb. You know, he announced something like he got a new computer. Now, you know, I'm a filmmaker. I pay people to capture a picture, so I'm not tech savvy like that to put a little slide while I talk to you guys. But I told you guys, when I get my money back, I was going to come and speak to the people, and that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing, family. And you know what? It still breaks my heart. All these people that have lost money. All these people that have lost money. And I'm telling you guys right now, if his intention was to open a school, why would you give me some money back? There's not going to be FDMG. There's not going to be a school, family. And I say that with heavy heart because I was a contributor. I was a supporter. There's not going to be a school. No, sir. There's not going to be a school. No, ma'am. There's not going to be a school. So
I just thought of this too. What if Dr. Umar, you know, his FBI deal ran out, right? And he got arrested. A lot of people would be upset. But this is the crazy thing, right? Think about this. If he gets arrested, he could actually become like a martyr. Seriously. He could say, I guarantee you, he would say, I guarantee you, he would be saying the FBI is responsible for me locked up because of all the pro-black things he's been saying. All right. And he would use that to his advantage. I mean, that could be part of their plan for all we know. He gets back out, continues to scam. But let's continue.
All of you know, he has some of his supporters that did take a few jab here and there at me. So for you that are taking a few jab at me, explain them giving me a check. Explain that. Explain that, them giving me a check. Family, is getting dark out here. I want to thank you all for supporting me. I want to thank you all for standing by me while I went through this difficult time with him. And you know what? There's no reason to make no video about him anymore. But you know, I'm just hurt for those who hasn't gotten their money back. But you know what? One advice I would give all of y'all: if you got,
I wish she hadn't taken that money. Truth be told, but I don't know. They kind of gave it to her under the, you know, the guise of, look, you put out money for that film. He made the process very difficult. We're giving you this money, but there's strings attached to that money. All right. She's kind of telling her fans, it seems like, look, I'm not gonna make more videos about him outside of the ones I told his lawyers. All right. There's no reason to talk about him anymore because our business deal is finished. But she doesn't have to, you know what I mean? I mean, she has information, but she doesn't have to, you know, go on a campaign and speak against what he's doing at all, you know. But I do wish that she hadn't taken that money. I think that she may regret it herself in the future when she realizes that she took money which had strings attached, which included her not speaking, okay? But let's continue. Maybe it's not as it seems. Maybe it's something that I'm not understanding, but that's what it looks like. Okay, but let's continue.
See, you got receipt? Make a video. Make a video. Don't light up on him. Make a video. You know, it's okay. I'm asking people to make video. Okay, she's saying I'm saying too much now. You understand?
I think that she's next to her lawyer, like she said. So I guess her lawyer is in the background saying, don't say any more. Once again, because she took some money from him, okay?
You know, make a video. Okay, I'm done. Okay, family, she want me to get off this. It is getting dark anyway. I want to say thank you to all my YouTube subscribers.
We're going to end right here. right, so we thank you, Miss Mary Ann, for telling us about Umar and bringing us the information that we now know. Thank you for making that movie about him. Thank you for letting us know that even though he says black queens forever, snow bunnies never, that he actually wanted to have a snow bunny. And it wasn't never, it was at that very time, okay? He wanted the snow bunny also to have her chest exposed, which is interesting because no woman, this is all I was supposed to say earlier in the video, but I forgot to say this. No other woman in that movie had her chest exposed. But he wanted to have a white woman with her chest exposed, which I think is very interesting. That he didn't, she did not say that he asked for a black woman to have her chest exposed, and there's no scene in the movie like that. But she didn't notice, she did not say that he asked for that for any of the black women. But he did ask for that type of scene for a white woman. Okay, why would he want that? Especially if he's, pro-black and pro-black woman. Then why would he want to have a white woman with her chest exposed, which if anything would only attract black men watching the movie about him to white women, because he's now showing a white woman with her chest exposed. Okay? Think about that. Lance, I wish that she hadn't taken that check from Umar. I rather see, and I'm not trying to attack her when I say this. I'm trying to say, if it was me, I'll be like, look, I don't need any of your money. I don't want, and I've had people do me dirty before. I'm giving you an example for me personally in business and video. All right, where people have done me wrong. I'll give you a quick example and I'll be out. All right. I've even had a guy who was a relative of mine. Okay. We had a business dealing some time ago, and I'm not going to go into it, but it was just stuff that was going on that wasn't right. Part of it was his fault, in my opinion. Other parts of it was, maybe miscommunication. But it was stuff that's going on that was definitely wrong, and it was certain things that were going on that were. I'll try to be very vague with that because there's a lot I can say about it. But I'll just say that at the end of the day, I did work for like months, maybe like 4 months, and I was supposed to get paid like in September, and I said, you can keep the money. I said, you just keep the money. I don't even want the money. And that was work that I had done for months. All right. Just stuff which is very shady. And there's other times where I remember one time I was filming for a church, and they started preaching some stuff that was not of God. And I said, well, I'm here filming. I can't just stop filming while I'm filming. I already basically gave my word that I'll be here, so I'm here. And this is a church that I've filmed for years. So I basically, I did actually gave them the video, all right, which was my job when everything was over. And I said, you know what, y'all keep the money. I don't even want the money. Because to me, the money was almost like blood money. I said, I don't even want the money. All right. Yeah, so I think they actually sent me the money somehow. I think I returned it somehow. I forget how it was sent. This is years ago. I'm just saying, say that I think in the future she's going to think to herself, you know what? I would have rather been able, I would be glad to be able to say, look, you know what? He offered me money. I didn't even take it. Didn't take it. Even though, like I said, that money helps her with the money that she lost because of him. Okay. But either way, I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm not in any way at all about saying. I'm just saying that I think that she will, in the future, her conscience probably will be, she probably will feel that, it probably was a better choice. But y'all, I want to thank you guys for watching so much. It's your boy, Brother Winston. Please hit the like button. It helps this video be seen on YouTube when you do that. Also, please share this video on your social media, Facebook, wherever you can. I want to thank everyone for watching my videos. All right, y'all. And y'all, thanks for everything, y'all. Subscribe. It's my birthday was September 28th, y'all. So yeah, so I'm kind of just happy about that. Another year God has blessed me with. All right, and yeah, I'm just standing strong. Wait for my movie to come out. All right, next year, which is called The Golden Dragonfly. All right, so I'll put a trailer up for. I have a trailer for up on my other pages. I want to put it up on this page soon enough. Yeah, y'all. So I got some stuff going on with that, and which I'll tell you about in the future. Some good stuff going on with that, and you'll see more about that movie in the future. Okay, so thanks for watching. Excuse me. Until next time. God bless. Peace.